everything was going so well after Brexit. Unemployment was falling, growth was rising, imports and exports were up, there were more startups than there had been. And then, of course, we had this wrecking ball coming in from the side in the form of the coronavirus. And it's really annoying if, on top of all the other reasons, if for no other reason than it means that we can never definitively prove that Brexit was an economic success. But I'll make this prediction. In a generation's time, when we look back and we see a more global Britain interested and engaged in the affairs of every continent, including Europe, trading with the opulent markets beyond more distant oceans, we will have no doubt that we made the right decision.
The point of Brexit for a lot of people was to free ourselves from Brussels bureaucracy and to move forward at a pace which otherwise wouldn't have been possible. 5 years into Brexit, have we managed to do that? That remains to be seen. But I think what's hopeful was the way the government took that attitude of being nimble and quick with the rollout of the vaccine, and we did a great job there. I think what the government now needs to do is to show that same attitude when it comes to other aspects of a regulatory framework.
I suppose the interesting thing about Brexit 5 years on is the sense that it dominated the political landscape for all that time and then has basically been forgotten. And there is a good case for saying, well, it shouldn't be forgotten because the Northern Ireland Protocol is a mess and economically we could be facing difficult times, and yet the pandemic has just taken over. And equally, there's more of a focus on domestic policy now. So it's no coincidence, is it, that with Brexit behind us, people are now once again talking about social care, tax rises, planning, and all these other domestic issues that were almost put on the back burner for half a decade.
Well, it's 5 years today since the referendum that took us out of the European Union. And one of the things I was looking at in the piece I did for the Telegraph was just how much that's transformed the economy already. And I think there are 4 ways really that it's done that. First of all, we're seeing a return to a kind of historic trading pattern, which I estimate is probably about 25% of our trade with being with the EU. Next, I think we're starting to see real wages go up in quite a dramatic way because we've curbed freedom of movement. After that, we're starting to see some liberalisation on rules and regulations, not quite enough. And I think finally, we're also starting to see a change in our industrial base. We're doing less low-value stuff. We're doing more high-value, Swiss-style, life sciences, more sophisticated manufacturing. We can argue for a long time whether that's good or bad. I'm sure we will argue about it, but it's definitely different.